It usually happens right before your dog settles down for the night. The house is quiet. Lights are low. Maybe you're already on the couch or getting ready for bed. Your dog walks over to their favorite spot on the floor. They pause for a moment. Then they start to turn. One small circle, sometimes two, sometimes three. Their nose points toward the ground as if they're inspecting the exact place they're about to lie down. Their paws shuffle slightly across the floor. Then finally, after the last slow turn, they lower themselves carefully and curl into sleep. Most owners barely notice this routine anymore. It's just one of those small things dogs do. But that tiny circle before lying down may not be random at all. It may be the final step of a behavior that began thousands of years before dogs ever slept inside human homes. Most people assume this circling habit is just a comfort ritual. Maybe your dog is fluffing up an invisible pillow. Maybe they're just getting comfortable. Or maybe it's simply a quirky habit dogs develop over time. And comfort does play a role. But there's something about the behavior that researchers find interesting. Dogs often circle even when the surface is already perfectly flat. Hardwood floors, tile, a clean dog bed. There's nothing there to adjust. Yet the turning still happens, which suggests the behavior may not be about the floor at all. Instead, the dog's brain may be performing a quick environmental scan, a final safety check before the nervous system allows the body to fully relax into sleep. Researchers who study dog behavior often notice something else about this moment. Dogs don't always perform this little circle randomly around the house. Very often, they do it near their owner, in the same room, at the foot of the couch, beside the bed. That pattern led scientists to look at how dogs choose resting locations around the humans they trust. A study from Eötvös Loránd University in Budapest, one of the leading centers for canine cognition research, examined how dogs use their owners as what psychologists call a secure base. The idea originally came from research on human infants. When a child feels safe with a caregiver nearby, the brain relaxes enough to explore, rest, and regulate stress. The Hungarian researchers found that dogs appear to show the same pattern. When their owner is present, dogs display lower stress signals and settle more easily. That means when your dog circles before lying down beside you, their brain may be doing two things at once. First, performing that brief environmental check. And second, confirming that the individual their brain associates with safety is still nearby. Once both conditions are met, the nervous system allows the body to shift fully into rest. Underneath this small ritual is a chemical system that quietly decides when a dog's body is safe enough to sleep. When dogs are close to someone they trust, their brains release oxytocin. This molecule is often called the bonding hormone, but neuroscientists describe it more precisely as a social safety signal. Oxytocin reduces activity in the brain's threat detection systems. At the same time, it lowers cortisol, the hormone linked to stress. Heart rate slows. Muscles relax. The nervous system shifts toward a parasympathetic state, the biological mode associated with rest. But sleep is still one of the most vulnerable states for any animal. Before the body fully powers down, the brain performs quick checks of the environment. That's where the circling behavior may come in. Turning in a small circle allows the dog's sensory systems, sight, smell, and spatial awareness, to briefly scan the surroundings. It's almost like the brain saying, "Everything here is predictable. Nothing has changed." Once that confirmation happens, the oxytocin-driven safety signals take over. The body lowers itself to the ground. The muscles release tension, and the brain allows sleep to begin. So that tiny circle may be the final step in a neurological sequence that tells the dog's brain, the world around you is stable enough to rest. To really understand this habit, we have to go back to a time when dogs didn't sleep on couches or soft beds. Their ancestors slept outdoors, in tall grass, in forests, on uneven ground where visibility was limited and predators could approach quietly. Before lying down, wolves and early dogs often turned in small circles to flatten vegetation and scan the area around them. The movement allowed them to check the direction of the wind, notice unfamiliar scents, and make sure no hidden danger was nearby. It was a quick survival routine. Circle, scan the environment. Then rest. Over thousands of years of domestication, dogs moved into human homes where the environment became far safer. Soft beds replaced grass. Walls replaced open terrain. But evolution rarely deletes old behaviors completely. Instead, the brain keeps the pattern. So when your dog spins in a circle before lying down on your living room floor, their brain may still be following a rule written long before houses existed. One last check. Then sleep. What's interesting is that this quiet ritual doesn't just calm your dog, it can affect you as well. Studies on human-animal interaction show that simply watching or touching a relaxed dog can lower human cortisol levels. The brain begins to mirror the calm state of the animal nearby. When your dog finally finishes that small circle and settles beside you, their body language sends a powerful signal. The environment is safe. Your nervous system often responds automatically. Breathing slows, while muscles relax. The room feels quieter. In a subtle way, dogs act as emotional regulators for the humans around them. Their calm becomes contagious. A small circle, a slow exhale, and suddenly the whole room feels ready for rest. Because this circling behavior is part of how dogs prepare their bodies for rest, changes in it can sometimes reveal subtle shifts in their comfort or health. Most dogs circle briefly and then lie down without difficulty. The movement is smooth and almost automatic. But if a dog suddenly begins circling excessively, taking a long time to settle, or seeming restless before lying down, it can sometimes indicate discomfort. Joint pain, anxiety, or changes in the environment can make it harder for the brain to reach that safe enough to rest state. On the other hand, if a dog that always circled suddenly stops doing it entirely, it may simply mean they feel extremely secure in that environment. Dogs communicate through patterns, and sometimes the smallest habits reveal the most about how their bodies are feeling. So tonight, when your dog walks over to their favorite sleeping spot, watch closely. They'll pause for a moment. Turn in that familiar little circle, then lower themselves into sleep. What looks like a simple habit may actually be the final step of an ancient instinct, one that once helped wild dogs survive the night. A quick check of the world around them. And when they settle down beside you, it may also mean something else. Their brain has decided this place, and this person, are safe enough to rest. And if you've ever wondered why your dog sometimes sighs deeply right before falling asleep, the neuroscience behind that moment reveals another fascinating layer of how dogs relax around the humans they trust most.